Welcome to Oz Nomad Destinations. Follow us as we caravan our way around Australia. This is Ed and I'm Bec, and we're finding you the best free and budget camp spots Oz has to offer. Fishing, crabbing and hiking our way through this awesome country. For notifications, click subscribe and hit the bell, and that will keep you up to date. So we're heading west. We've got the car booked in for a service at Ipswich in a couple of weeks, and after 10 days at Inskip Point, we're headed to Maryborough as I've got the dreaded gastro bug from Inskip Point. So we booked into the showgrounds to sleep that off for 3 days, while Ed did some mundane chores like shopping, car scrubbing, van scrubbing, and waited for me to get back on my feet. We had heard from some friends that there was a great little cafe at Woolooga and that the pies they sold were amazing, and figured that might make a great lunch stop. I must say it was a great little cafe, and it had an old country feel with a modern whole food touch and modern decor. It had good coffee, great pies and sandwiches, and bottles of dry goods so you could bring your own containers and save on all that plastic. The cafe had a couple of dining areas that were attached and could cater for large family groups or buses. Ed found himself some zucchini pickles and grabbed a pie for lunch. There was a pub next door decked out with the same modern country style and opens from Thursday to Sunday. And after a quick Google search, their food looks amazing and it might be worth a look if we pass again. There was also a gypsy cart across the road selling leather and artworks with 2 pretty ponies in tow. We sat and waited for them to hitch up, but it was getting late, so we headed off. The next stop was Kinbombi Falls. The turnoff is on the Wide Bay Highway, approximately 6 kilometres before Gymea, or 19 kilometres from Kilkeven. The road is all bitumen to the campground entrance.
Morning! How are you going? Make enough noise through the night? I think you did. So the turnoff's about 4 kilometres in from the main road, and then there is about 300 metres of dirt down into the campgrounds, but it's in pretty good condition, so you should have absolutely no troubles. Actually, it's probably only like 100 metres to the front entrance of the camp. It's 300 metres all the way down to our caravan, and we're right down the back. So the notice says you need to be self-contained. Maximum length of stay is 72 hours. All wastewater needs to be contained. No fires permitted other than in the provided pits. No tents or swags, and no return within 48 hours. That's pretty easy to follow. So this is still the road in. As I said, it's really good. So we've arrived at Kinbombi Falls. This is your introduction board. There's listed the campgrounds around the local area that you can stay at for free, which is all these ones here. Gives you a bit of an idea of the map and where it's situated. So we turned off the Wide Bay Highway down to the Kinbombi Falls Road, and it's halfway between Gymea and Kilkeven. There's a waterfall here. It's running a tad at the moment, but I don't think it runs all year round. But we had a storm last night, so it has been running today. So there is, we'll just give you a quick look round. There's garbage bins there, and it has bags for your dogs. So you're allowed to have dogs here. There's some designated sites here. We'll give you a walk down there in a minute. And I'm just going to put the drone up over top of the waterfalls this morning because nobody here, we're all by ourselves. There was one camper when we got here last night, but they just pulled out, so I'm making the most of that. So this is the head of the walking trail. Now these steps are seriously steep. It's insane how steep they are. So I'm not going to walk all the way down there. I'll just show you with the drone. So that's the start of them. This is the walkway down to the falls. The length of the track's only 100 metres, but it has an elevation change of 35 metres. So she's really steep. It says it's a grade 5 level and that you need to be super fit. I'm not sure if the GoPro's doing it justice, but this is not even the steepest bit. So that's Combi Waterfall. She is running a whole heap faster than she was yesterday afternoon. Very beautiful. So now I'll throw the drone up and we'll have a closer look. There's those stairs, a good leg workout I'd say, and definitely would get your heart rate up. So there's some picnic tables here and a barbecue. I've no doubt that they probably get day trippers from out at Gympie and Gameri and the likes. Pretty special, that waterfall, when it's running. Anyway, there's also a toilet block, flushing toilets and running water, not potable, it's free, can't ask for anything better than free. And that's probably it for Combi Falls. On to the next spot, I reckon. That's Kinbombi Falls, done and dusted. There was no internet or phone service, but it was very easy to get to with our van. Except for the feedlot across the road, which was fine, it was very quiet and peaceful. We did a quick pull into Mergen, walked to the main street and headed for lunch. Ficks Crossing is about 7 kilometres from Mergen. There's a big sign on the roadside at the turn-off. So we are at Ficks Crossing, halfway between Mergen and Wondai, and Ed's gonna have some lunch. I'm gonna have a swim in the creek. Anyway, I'll just quickly show you around. They got toilet blocks, a couple of picnic tables. There is a barbecue, and there's a car park big enough for us to turn the van around in, which is a godsend because we really didn't know when we drove down the road. Anyway, she's about 5 k's, I don't know, southwest of Mergen. If the car park is full, we would have struggled to turn our van around, but we were the only ones there. It was easy access into the water, and it was flowing over the little weir and was a great swimming hole.
As we were driving out, I spotted my first wild koala. I was so excited. Ticked that off the must-see list. As there was plenty of daylight, we decided to backtrack and go have a look at the Bjelke-Petersen Dam. It was pretty much the same as most dams. Lots of water, a big wall, plenty of picnic tables. It would make for a great day out. There was also toilets and a boat ramp. On our way to Wondai, we passed a big shed with a big sign called Fat Wag. There are a few cars parked out the front. Did we stop? Yep. It seems it's a Wagyu butcher. That's fairly expensive, so we left with some beef patties and sausages, and that was dinner sorted. Make sure you stop there. Highly rate. Could that soil be any redder? I think no. And we are off to track down the bird hide at Woolooga wetlands. That'd be called too much rain. Not getting to the bird hide today. Very beautiful, but we pulled into Woolooga to find the bird hide at the Woolooga wetlands, and tripped upon this former St Andrew's Presbyterian Church, which is now privately owned. And how beautiful is it? There is also a big free camp right in the middle of town called Dalton's Park, with hot showers and toilets right next to the rail trail and in walking distance to the pubs and cafe. We arrived at Wondai late in the arvo and stayed at the free camp right in the middle of town. There were toilets and hot showers, and it was right on the side of the rail trail, which makes for a good walking track. It's also in walking distance to the pub, IGA, butcher, bakery and organic cafe. The next day, after a walk around town, we visited the art gallery. Wondai has art scattered all over the town, with these artworks on poles and metalworks out the back of the gallery. Next was the Wood Museum. This massive log was out front, and it was a red gum. It was 9.9 metres long, weighed 23 tonne, and with a width of 1.6 metres across. It was a massive thing. We went for a look. The entry was free, as it also doubled as the Tourist Information Centre. There are life-size sculptures of a bullocky and his head bullocks at an old water well, and a camp set up inside the building, as well as wood carvings from all different types of timber. The free camp also has a dump point and a water tap, and grass. It has good phone and internet service. It's a bit uneven, but it's nothing that can't be fixed with ramps. So that's us for this week. Keep in contact, stay happy, and we'll see you next Sunday at 6 a.m.